Also, we encourage you to get out and support your team and see some fine basketball action. Now here's your play-by-play announcer, Blair Dugray, and his guest for today's game.
Hi everyone, and welcome to VPW Channel 13 Sports weekly edition of high school basketball. I'm Blair Dugray, along with Bruce Enns of the University of Winnipeg. Today we'll be bringing you third place in championship action from the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. This tournament has featured some of the top high school teams from across Canada and the United States. In our third place final are the Queen Elizabeth Lions of Halifax, Nova Scotia, taking on the Elmwood Eskimos of Winnipeg. And in our championship game, the George Harvey Hawks of Toronto, Ontario, playing the Daniel Mac Maroons. Bruce, maybe your thoughts on the tournament so far?
Blair, it's been a real terrific tournament. I was here last night for about the last 3 games, and these two teams lost very, very tough games. Queen Elizabeth from Halifax is an extremely exciting team. They move the ball quickly. They're fairly disciplined. Elmwood had a very tough game with Daniel Mack. They didn't play nearly as well as they can, but I expect that this third place game is going to be very good. As you can see, we've had some excellent games in the tournament so far. The final is going to be between Daniel and George Harvey of Toronto, and I would say the two visiting teams are probably going to be rated as slight favorites, but the two Winnipeg schools I think are going to do themselves quite well. I think they can both win.
Mike Marola received that award from Mrs. Kopeskovich, the Robert Breskich Memorial Award. You see Bruce Enns is going to have the opening tip-off here. He's going to throw up the ball for these athletes. The captains here of the George Harvey Hawk team from Toronto and the captain of the Daniel Mack team. Ceremonial tip-off won by the Toronto player. And we'll be back in a moment with outstanding basketball action from the championship game at the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament between the Daniel Mac Maroons and the George Harvey Hawks. Oh, we're back with the championship game here at the 8th Annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. As I mentioned a little earlier, the Robert Piskolovich Memorial Award. Mike Marola of the Tuckpaw Hornets won that award. But right now we're going to get the introductions here of the starting teams. We have the home team, the Daniel Mac Maroons, and the visiting team, the George Harvey Hawks. We're introducing them right now.
Okay, let's take a look at them. This is going to be a very exciting game. George Harvey wants to run. They want to press. I think they're going to play mainly man-to-man. Daniel Mack's going to want to control the tempo. I think they're going to be playing a couple of different zone defenses, and it's going to be absolutely crucial for Daniel that they do not let this game get out of hand in terms of tempo. As soon as we get the introductions here, Blair, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these players.
Okay, here's the George Harvey Hawks on our screen.
They're going to introduce everybody off the bench here first. Those of you who didn't get to see this game in person, you missed an incredible dunk show. Of course, we know Joe Hogan from Daniel Mack can really throw them down, but these guys from George Harvey must have had about 6 or 7 of them. It looked like a real college team out there throwing the ball down, Blair.
Well, the dunk rule is in effect for high school sports. They're not allowed to dunk during the pregame warm-up, but I think they ruled that for this one to put a little entertainment in the fans and maybe get them off their hands.
Principal Clyde Perry was desperately afraid. I saw him there, but Big Mo Glimcher told him he'd give him the $500 if something got bust.
Fine dunk show. I don't know if we managed to get a few shots of those, but if we did, we'll show them to you a little later. The starting lineup now for the George Harvey Hawks.
Here's Delroy Adams. I'll tell you, Delroy Adams, not Harvey as it says on your screen, is quite a little shooter. A little left-hander. Richard Walker, he's a guy who does a little bit of everything. He can really jump tough on the boards. This third man, I didn't get the name
Mike
there.
Baker. That was Mike Baker. No.
Mike Baker's a good shooter. Here's your Skywalker, George Harvey. Boy, I'll tell you. Marvin Russell is his name. He can really, really jump. And so can Claude Heath, the 5th man who was introduced. Watch for George Harvey, as I said, to run, to press, and to really be tough on the boards. We're going to have to find out in this game what Joe Hogan's is really made of, because he's going to have his work cut out for him. It'll be very, very important to see how this game is refereed. If they referee it too tight, I think it's going to be in George Harvey's favor.
George Harvey Hawks of Toronto, Ontario, the team, and Marvin Russell, the man we're talking about, a 6'3" grade 12 student. Now we have the introduction. There's Coach Laurie May and his assistant Greg Bouchard. We'll be introducing the teams from the Daniel Mac Maroons.
Well, a little bit about the referees, first of all, while they introduce the bench players from Daniel Mack. Referees are going to be Charlie the Bird Kurtz, who we've seen on this screen before, and Ronnie the Potato Man Unruh. Look out for the Potato Man, because he is under control of this game. There's no doubt about it. There will be not much talking back with the Potato Man, because when he says it's a foul, you better not argue with him. I think he weighs in about 240, Blair, and he could go on the wrestling circuit anytime he wanted to. Two very, very good referees.
I'd love to know where you come up with these nicknames.
Well, you know, we got to have a little bit of color for these referees, because they're really basically very, very ordinary people.
Sure that you call them by their nicknames when they referee one of your games.
Here's Leone Young, the starting guard. Leone is crucial to making this team work properly. I really think he's the key man on their team. Big Neil Ends, tough on the boards. They need some inside scoring from him. Frank Petronio, very good defensive player. Not a bad shooter inside of 15 feet. Scott Barlow is their outside shooter. He was absolutely super last night. And of course, their MVP, probably the top player right now for Daniel Mack in this tournament, is Big Joe Ogum. Joe has got his work cut out for him. He's going to be fighting up against 2, 3, sometimes 4 rebounders from George Harvey. But I think he and Neil Enns together are going to be able to do the job. If they can control the tempo of this game and not let it get out of hand, I think Daniel Mack can win this game.
Good shot of the George Harvey cheerleaders on our screen. George Harvey Hawks from Toronto, Ontario, taking on the Daniel Mack Maroons from Winnipeg. This is the championship game of the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. And there's referee Charlie Kurtz with the ball in hand. Big Ron Unruh at the other end. Good picture of referee Charlie Kurtz on our screen. He'll be throwing up the opening toss. Will be underway very shortly. The opening tip-off here at the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament, the championship game.
Well, even the jump ball is going to be fun. Joe Ogums and Marvin Russell, these two guys can really sky.
Russell number 35, and he's in the red uniform, the dark one. Ogums 35 in white. There it is. Leone Young controls the ball for the Maroons, and we're underway here.
George Harvey in man-to-man.
Scott Barlow now takes a shot. Nice shot from the outside.
That's the shot they need. And here's Daniel Mack opening up in a 2-2-1 zone press. I think they're going to try to slow them down a little bit.
Full court zone press.
Get back quickly, though.
There's that shot from the outside. It won't go. Number 14, Richard Walker, took that shot. The Maroons come down with the rebound, and we may have to talk a little loud in here because the fans are starting to go already. It's a full house at the Tech Box Gymnasium. Must be 1,200 people. Scott Barlow once again from the outside, and that time I think it was because of the net. That one didn't go in, and I don't know.
Well, it's really too bad we don't have good nets here, because that ball was right down. It was halfway down the hole. It just popped up because of the net. But the referees are right. They can't count that.
Bouchard and Coach May up there, and they're wondering what went on. We got a foul, early foul. Got some noise here, early noise. The Maroons are starting to play well. They came out fired up.
I like the way they've come out. They're really looking at the basket. Barlow's had absolutely no doubt. He took the ball top of the key. In a lot of conferences in the States, that's a three-point shot. And he's made them both. Unfortunately, only one counted.
Leone Young from the outside. There's 2 points. 6-0. The Maroons firing quickly here.
Hang on, Blair. They counted that basket. I don't know why, but they did count it. It's 6-0.
The scoreboard says 6-0, so Scott Barlow hit 2 early ones. There's Marvin Russell, the man we talked about, the Skywalker. The ball, he feeds it back out. Number 32, Mike Baker now. Baker setting up the offense here. They're trying to slow things up a little bit. The Hawks are a little frustrated about early going as Baker drives inside, gets up nice and high, penetrates. We get a charging foul.
Very good position by Big Neil Enns. Neil has really bent his knees. He's got his hands up, and I'll tell you, he looks ready to play. He stood right in there and took the charge.
Neil Enns isn't any relation, is he, to...
No, he isn't. He's just an excellent basketball man. That's all. That's all we have in common.
Excellent left-handed basketball player, and we're with the superior coach, the top coach in the province of Manitoba, Bruce Enns from the University of Winnipeg. We've got a jump ball situation. Scott Barlow here and Marvin Russell are going to jump the ball. Big Ron Unruh, our referee, gets in there, tosses it up. Barlow comes down. Leone Young. Take a look. Tony was open, but Young takes it down the outside. He's open. This could be his fourth. There it is. 8-10, 8:25 remaining. Daniel Mack is fired up, and they come out of the gates.
Well, they can do it. Like I said, though, they're going to have to control the tempo and keep on taking the good shots. Very important to get on the boards.
You got a traveling violation, and Daniel's ready to go. Do you think we're going to see a quick timeout from the George Harvey coach?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's too worried right now. His team just hasn't had any shots yet, and Daniel Mack really, it's not that we're getting bad play from George Harvey. Daniel's just been super.
Leone Young going for his 6th point. It comes up a little short.
Good drive by Leone.
Down the rebound. Petronio comes behind the steal, but the ball's taken away. Number 32 now. Mike Baker has the ball. Baker pulls up, Nice jump, 2 points. First 2 points of the game for the Hawks, and we're going to see pressure from them. What kind of pressure is George Harvey going to put on?
Well, they're going to play mainly man-to-man, I think. I think as well that we're likely going to see Joe Ogums have to bring the ball up a fair amount for Daniel Mack, because Leone can certainly do it, but he may get a little bit tired because George Harvey throws so many different guys at you.
That's right. George Harvey likes up to. We got a foul, number 44. Claude Heath reaches in, picks up that first foul. That's his team's third foul. They're down 8-2. We got 7:25 remaining. First quarter action of the championship game here at the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. Ball's inbound to Cachonio. Frank Cachonio feeds it back to Leone Young. Leone Young going to set the offense for the Maroons. Leone Young dribbles down his right, heads towards the baseline, cuts it back to his left. A lot of double teaming by the Hawks. Hawks are in the dark uniforms. Cachonio gets 35 to go up, comes up with shots a little short. Marvin Russell down the rebound. He fires the ball up. Thought it might knock out of bounds with number 14. Richard Walker gains control.
Again, let me just say something. Daniel Mack has got to be very, very careful they don't allow George Harvey to run. If they can get them to play front court offense, I think they got a real good shot at it.
Roy Adams takes that shot on the outside.
All right.
There's a quick pass. The ball goes out of bounds. George Harvey's going to gain control here. Maybe the pace will slow down just a little bit. We'll set the pace for you here. It's 8-2. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks. 6:40 remaining in the first quarter. It's a championship game.
This is a mark of a very good club. A lot of poise. George Harvey's refused to allow themselves to get upset, even though they're down. They made a couple of mistakes.
There's another turnover.
They just haven't got rattled.
Number 34, Scott Barlow with the ball. He's being pressured by Marvin Russell. Try to get the ball to Ogums. That's where they want him. Inside. He goes up over top. There was count the basket, and we got a three-point play coming up for Joe Ogums.
Well, that's exactly what Daniel Mack wants to do. You know that Joe Ogums has not touched the ball on the offensive end yet, and they were out to an 8-2 lead without him. And all of a sudden here, they finally get it down to Joe.
Take a look at that.
They bring it two men down, and Joe gets up, draws the foul, and makes a great pass.
Heath went up. Joe waited for him to go up, went back, took the shot. And a foul on the play. Number 44, Claude Heath picked up the foul. We've got a 10-2 lead. The Maroons out in front. Joe Ogums looking to make it 11. 6:15 remaining.
Well, a quick substitution. Winston Allen, a little shooting guard, comes in. He's a very good shooter, and he may be their zone breaker. They take out Heath. And look at Russell go to the basket. That's hard.
Got a charging foul. What are they going to do? Basket. No basket.
Neil Enns did it again. He stood right in there and took the charge. Excellent defense.
5-inch Neil Enns from the Daniel Mack Maroons, grade 12 students.
Well, we got a great matchup here. Delroy Adams and Leone Young.
Leone Young now with the ball. Going against Adams. He drives baseline, sneaks underneath, tries to put the ball to Enns. Ogums goes to pick it up, but the ball's taken away. Nice first down pass. Mike Baker, he's driving down court. Look at the height he gets on that jump, but he can't get it to go, but he managed to get the rebound off of Cachonio. Now they slow things up, and once again he goes up and over. He's a little long. There it is. Third offensive rebound. There it is.
Winston Allen, watch out, he's a real shooter.
33, Winston Allen, as you said earlier, came in off the bench. Take the shot, he gets 2 points. 11-4, we got 5:30 remaining with the first quarter action here. Championship game, Winnipeg Invitational. Leone Young gets it to Barlow. Barlow made that shot earlier. This time he pulls up a little bit. Gets it out to Frank Cachonio. Tries to feed it back into Barlow. Quick hands on that George Harvey team. You see them move, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. Off of the white team. George Harvey gains control.
Blair, very important for Joe Ogums to get in this game in terms of rebounding. I really think even more important than his scoring tonight is going to be his rebounding and his defense.
And Barker, long pass across. Ball's tipped away. Number 12, Delroy Adams had it, lost it. Leone Young picks it up. Adams is going to guard him closely. They come across the midcourt line. You got a reaching in foul. Delroy Adams picking up that foul. I think that's the 16th foul in this early going. We've only played a little over 5 minutes.
But I'll tell you one thing, Blair. I'm very happy with the refereeing so far. Though they've called 5 fouls on George Harvey, they've all been obvious fouls. There's been a couple of real close ones that they've let go. They have not overcalled the game. The fouls that they've called have definitely been fouls.
The one big decision they made on that shot, Scott Barlow, they gave him the 2 points. The ball went in, but came back out because of the miss. 11-4, 4:35 remaining. George Harvey with control. There's number 32, Mike Baker. He takes a shot. Neil Enns comes down with that rebound.
Well, Baker's been a little bit out of control. I think he's going to have to use his teammates a little bit. Just a little bit emotional right now. They're going to have to get their guards to settle them down a little bit.
Daniel Mac Maroons coming into this tournament ranked number 6 this week in Manitoba high school basketball, but
Well,
I
you know
think
they're
that's
going to move up.
change.
Yes, for sure. They're much better than that.
I didn't quite understand how they got down to number 6, but here they are playing in the final game of this prestige tournament. Scott Barlow comes down with that, steals it. He's going to go towards the baseline. Nice pass, gets it across to Tronio. And there's number 14, Richard Walker. Did he get up in the air to knock that one away?
Well, Blair, I tell you, it was a great pass by Barlow. He'd taken a shot. It looked like George Harvey was going to get a break. We may see this on a replay right now. He makes the steal. I don't know if you can see the cross-court pass. Wide open, a great block. But in the process of blocking, we get a foul. And you're right. George Harvey's calling a timeout. And I think it's a very good timeout called by Mike Cates. He knows he's got to do something to settle these guys down a little bit. They're so emotional that right now they've got to get a little bit of control of their game, because though they're only down 11-4, the play has been all Daniel Mack so far. And even though Joe Ogums has only seen the ball a couple of times, Daniel has dominated. Neil Enns has taken the charge twice. Barlow's taken a couple of real good shots. Leone Ong has controlled the floor with his dribbling. They've done an excellent job. They have not let Harvey outrun them. They've not let Harvey out-rebound them. So far, all Daniel Mack.
It was a good shot of the crowd here at this 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. We've got a packed house, and I think it's pro-Daniel Mack crowd tonight.
Well, I hope it is. You know, in the past, I don't know, it's because of the great rivalry between Tech Bach and Daniel Mack. There's the people have tended not to cheer for Daniel Mack. But doggone it, this is a Winnipeg team, and I hope our people would cheer for them. Because they're representing us right here, and this Toronto team is just a tremendous club. And Daniel's going to need all the support they can get.
Frank Catronio's at the line trying to put his team up. It's 11-4 right now. He makes their 12th point. Catronio hits number 12, and Daniel Mack is fired up. And they're congratulating each other. They're ready to go. We got 4:02 remaining. Catronio looking to make his second. He hits them both from the line. 13-4 now, the Maroons out in front. There's that 2-2-1 pressure that we mentioned a little earlier. Some substitutes coming into the game now for George Harvey. They do use quite a few more players than the Maroons will use, and that may tell a little later in the game. But right now, it's 13-4.
Well, they brought in another shooter, number 34, Dave DeVero.
Dave DeVero is into the game. The ball's thrown away. DeVero tried to feed it inside to Walker. He couldn't reach for that one. But a man-on-man pressure here from the George Harvey team. DeVero guarding Leone Ong.
Well, again, they got it into Joe Ogums. I think Joe's going to have to see if he can get a little closer to the hoop. He's a fine shooter from out there, but I think he wants to be in position to maybe draw some fouls as well.
There's number 24, Hector Constantini, came into the game. Hector Constantini now is up the top of the key. Feeds it out to Russell. Russell feeds it back down. It's in Constantini. Constantini, DeVero back out to Constantini. Trying to get inside to Heath. They got it on Enns, and Enns is waiting there. But I think he moved in a little bit too late, and he picks up the first team foul for the Daniel Mack Maroons.
Well, I tell you, pretty close. Neil Enns has really shown some mobility. We always know that he's a smart player, but boy, he's moving his feet. And against these George Harvey guys, you better be quick.
6'5", grade 12, Neil Enns from the Daniel Mack Maroons. And here's the Hawks once again. George Harvey Hawks from Toronto with the ball.
Daniel Mack guys are playing some great defense. Scott Barlow has moved his feet. He's really blocking passing lanes, and he's doing an excellent job. Hector Constantine.
Shot won't go. Once again, the Maroons have control.
Again, that time Daniel Mack failed to look up court. They had an easy break there if they would have looked, but they're so intent on making sure they control the ball. I think they're just trying to control the tempo.
Leone Ong with the ball, penetrates toward the middle, moves it towards, takes the shot, is off control, got back his own rebound, took that shot. Neil Enns fighting underneath.
Well, Leone thought he drew the foul on that first one. I personally think he did too, but it was a tough one to see, and he didn't get it called.
DeVero took that shot, Ogums flipped it back,
Leone Ong to Joe.
Top of the key, 12 feet, won't go. Look at the height there, Marvin Russell up almost above the rim to bring that one down.
Leone's a little tired. I think that's what happened there. He made a couple of real good plays on defense. They had a 3-on-1 break. Leone took what might have been a good shot, but I really think if I had a chance in there to give the ball to Ogums and let him go in for that dunk, it's a little bit higher percentage.
Dave DeArio with the ball now. He's number 34. He's wearing the pink shirt underneath his uniform. Feeds the ball inside. There's number 21 just ending it. Radcliffe Delaney takes that shot. Won't go for him. Radcliffe Delaney with the ball once again. Nice pass off to Russell. Russell turn around. Comes up a little short. The ball's taken away underneath. Joe Ogums. Big Sky for the rebound.
Well, even more important than Ogum's rebound was Scott Barlow getting in there and challenging that shot by Russell.
Hey, all
Russell,
five
as we
players.
know, is a real leaper, and Barlow got up and deflected it.
There's the hook shot. Oh! Rebound. Type hook from the top of the key. 2 points and it's 15-4.
I don't know where Joe found that.
Have you seen him do that before?
That was a Kareem Jabbar skyhook.
Deverio now with the ball for the Hawks. Feeds it back out. Deverio gets it along the baseline. Takes that 20-foot jumper. He's got 2 for his team. It's 15-6.
He's a good shooter.
See once again that still man-on-man pressure all the way up the court. Deverio telling Yoni Young, and Daniel Mack has not made a substitute so far, and that may catch up with them. But right now they're playing on top of their game, probably the best that we've seen them play so far this year. Joe Ogum's inside behind the door.
What they want to do.
Nice.
They're playing with some real design here tonight. They know what kind of shots they want to get, and they're getting them.
Have you seen Daniel play this well?
No, this is excellent.
Scott Barlow steals that one.
They've been under control of their game, both offensively and defensively. I'm very impressed with them right now.
Daniel Mack.
They're playing for one shot right now, 35 seconds.
35. They're up 17-6. We're down to 30 seconds. Leone Young has the ball. Feeds it back to Barlow. Good jump switch there by the Hawks. Number 24 now guarding him. Constantini. Barlow feeds it back across to Catronio. Catronio's got 20 seconds now. They're team up 17-6. They've got an 11-point lead. They're trying to make it 13 before this happens. They get inside to Ogums. Ogums goes up.
Well done.
Fouled.
Well done. He drew the foul.
Was that Russell picked that one up, or was that number 21?
I'm not sure. There was about 3 guys down there. You can take your pick. But they got the ball to Ogums. I thought he got fouled even before they called it. But it might have been a little bit early for Daniel Mack. George Harvey still got 13 seconds to bring it back and score.
Marvin Russell picking up his second personal foul.
But as I mentioned, this is going to be crucial. They want to get Ogums at the foul line whenever they can.
Joe Ogums, and I've seen Joe Ogums shoot free throws this year, and he's a fine free-throw shooter for a big man. There's right through. One more point. 18-6. 13 seconds remaining. First quarter action. Makes them both from the line. His team's up now by 13 points. We got 12 seconds remaining. We're down to 10. Constantini with the ball. Constantini brings it over the 10-second line. They're down to 5 seconds. They're going to have to hurry. They get the ball down outside. They tried to get inside. Scarlo takes it away. 2-1. He's going to have to fire quickly. No shot. It would have counted anyways, but no shot at the buzzer. The score 19-6. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks.
Well, I tell you what, this Toronto team right now is ranked number 2 in Ontario. And I've seen a couple of teams in the Ontario leagues, and they are really, really tough. As we mentioned, many of them have grade 13s, as of course we don't in Manitoba. But right now, Daniel Mack is taking it to them like I have never seen a local team play. This is absolutely excellent on their part. They're coming down the floor. They're working the ball for the kind of shots that they want. Scott Barlow's been getting good shots. He's making them. Leone Young has been really in control of the game so far. I'm a little concerned he might be having to do just a little bit too much work. And here's the highlight of the first half. Even when I don't know, Joe may not like me for this comment, but you need a little bit of luck on this shot. Just watch this skyhook that Joe Ogum's going to take. Moving away from the basket, and there it is, a 15-foot hook. Good shot, Joe.
Good shot.
I know, he loves it.
It's 19-6. We've got second quarter action coming up, and we mentioned a little bit earlier, you were saying about this is super for a local team. Only one local team has ever won the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament, and that was in 1980 when the St. John's Tigers beat Crescent Heights 63-52.
Well, Blair, I talked to I don't know how many coaches outside before this game, and I am the only one that was willing to say that Daniel Mack might win this game. I won't say I put any money on it because, of course, we don't bet. But I think Daniel Mack could win this game. And the way they played in the first quarter, there's no doubt about it.
Daniel Mack, once again, there's another control from Leone Young. Goes up, take that shot. There's a foul, number 32. Mike Baker picked up that foul. He thought he had the ball. He's not happy, but referee Charlie Kurtz has called that one.
He's wrong. George Harvey right now a little bit excited. They really played superb defense last night. They committed some fouls, but today, really, I don't think there's been too much to quibble about in terms of the fouls that they've committed. They've been right on, and the referees have not had too difficult a time.
9:53 remaining. The score is 19-6. The Maroons are out in front. We got second quarter action here. He's in the bonus, but Leone shooting 2 from the line. He makes the first one. His team's up by 14 now, and I don't think we expected that this was going to happen, and there's a good shot of our crowd of the people cheering for the Maroons. All the Daniel Mac fans out here, and you can hear them in the background. Leone can't get a second one to go. Ogum skies for the ball, but it comes away. Leone steals it. Double dribble. Turnover.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. They got it back. You're going to have to keep in mind this George Harvey team's going to play for 40 minutes. They're going to play a lot of people. They're going to try to wear you down physically. It's going to be very important that Daniel does not let up. Great block by
Ogum skies to knock that one away. Claude Heath, big 6'3" forward for the Hawks, went up, but Joe Ogums went above him and knocked away. Cotroneo from the outside, a little long. Ogums tries to go up against Heath. Heath comes down with that rebound. Puts it back out.
Daniel really getting back on defense. Very, very important.
20-6. There's Joe Ogums once again, deflected that one away. Scores 20-6. 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Nice shot. Roy Adams.
He can shoot. Joe's going to have to get his hand up and challenge him.
5'9" Delroy Adams we have, but I don't know if he's 5'9". I think they might have stretched that when they gave us that in. There it is. Heath goes in, and he's going to charge him foul once again. Sponge play. We may have an injury here.
Scott Barlow, no way. I'll tell you what, he may hurt tomorrow, but he took the charge. That's great defense.
Let's take a look at this.
Great defense. Leone's getting tired. No doubt about it. I think Coach may want Ogums to help him bring the ball up a little bit. Leone is definitely tired. Raposo's going to come in and give Cotroneo a break.
We talked about that in our last telecast about taking the foul, and they mentioned there's really no way you can teach a person to do that, but...
No, but I'll tell you what, the George Harvey coaches right now, you can see them, Betcherman and Mike Cates, are really a little bit concerned because their team is rattled right now. Here's John Raposo, number 10, in the game for the first time. He's an excellent shooter.
John Raposo feeds the ball off to Neo Enns. Neo Enns, number 20, gives it back to number 10, Raposo. He gets it to Leone Ong. Leone Ong is still in the game for the Maroons. He takes that shot. It rims the bucket, but it won't fall. Number 14, Richard Walker, skies for that one. He brings it down. And Baker, nice bounce pass through to Walker. Feeds it across number 12, Adams. Adams hit the last one from there. He can't get this one to go, but Heath gains control for the Hawks.
Come on, Loney.
Heath over to Adams, feeds it back out. There's Marvin Russell, number 35. Russell drives in against Enns. Nice speed off pass.
Great defense by Neil Enns.
Number 14, Glenn Vargas, who subbed into the game, deflected that one away. As Joe Ogum
was too bad. I don't know about the call, but before the call was ever made, he really got up and challenged that shot by Russell. Made him change his shot. And this is what Enns has got to do. Daniel Mack now has made a couple of very, very important substitutions, giving Barlow a bit of a break, bringing in Glenn Vargas, who's a very, very tough defensive player, and he's also brought in John Raposo. Watch out for Leone Ong. He may need a bit of a breather.
Neil Enns picking up that foul. That's his second foul. The team's third. Once again, the Hawks have put the Maroons into the bonus situation. There's a nice cross-court pass to Mike Baker. Baker from a long way away, and it rims and won't fall. Baker comes in, own rebound. Nice beat-off pass, but we got a charge here. Well, we got a foul on the play. You didn't see what happened there, but referee Ron Unwell called that foul. John Raposo picks up his first foul, the team's fourth.
All right, Barlow got his little breather. He's back. Yeah, I think that was a foul on Raposo, but George Harvey got that very dangerous penetration. It was probably a pretty good foul.
Dave DeVario feeds it across to Baker. Baker takes shots a little long. Neo Enns.
Yeah, he sure isn't shy, is he? He's taken a couple of real tough shots. Hasn't made them either.
Fine ball handler for a big man. Number 35 for the Maroons. He's 6'6". Feeds it back out to Leone Ong. Leone
Get out of the corner, Leone.
Nice pass to Ogums, and there's two more for the Maroons. 22-8. Daniel Mack out in front of the George Harvey Hawks.
Coach May was worried about Leone Ong not playing well for the last couple of weeks, but boy, is he doing some job out here so far in this first and second quarter.
2-3, zone defense by the Maroons. The Hawks are trying to penetrate that defense. Baker on the outside. He can hit some of those perimeter shots that may pull the Maroons out of it, and there's one of them. 25-10, 22-10.
That's all right, Blair. I'll tell you what, if you're gonna keep on taking those shots.
There's a steal right in front of us here. Number 12, Adams, runs up and won't go. Once again, that mesh is hung up on the backboard. Shot from the outside, he can't get the goal. The ball goes back underneath. We got a foul on the play. Number 10, Raposo picking up that foul. John Raposo picking up his second straight foul for the Maroons, their fifth.
I think I might have praised the referees a little bit too soon. Right here in front of us, I'll tell you, it was a real bad foul. I don't know where the referees were, but John Raposo really got hit badly here. I think they missed one. But George Harvey is so exciting. it may just be the referee's tendency to watch him a little bit too much, too. But right now, you've got to be very careful if you're Daniel Mack, because George Harvey, their emotion is getting them another 6 inches off the floor, getting them another couple of shots. They're getting very, very aggressive on defense. Daniel Mack's going to have to protect the dribble. I think it's time for them to draw a few more fouls and let's see if we can get to the foul line and earn some points there.
Good shot of the George Harvey bench here, and I think this is one of the strategies we're seeing here, the George Harvey team, as these players that come off the floor are the ones that sit down. I know that your team, the University of Winnipeg Westman, does that, and I know a lot of other teams, they have their players who come off the floor standing up. Would you rather have them stand up or sit down?
Well, I tell you, we used to have them standing up. Now, I think it's important to get a bit of a break. I think it's important that they focus in on me. That's why we have the other guys standing up behind him.
Let's take a look.
All right, we're going to take a look at Ogum's. Going to get the ball back from Leone on, right underneath the basket. A great pass under the basket by Leone. And Joe gets the easy ones. That's exactly the kind of baskets they want to get.
The 32, Mike Baker, all he could do was stand there and watch. Baker's going to inbound the ball now for the Hawks. Hawks are trailing 22-10. We've got 7 minutes, 1 second remaining in the first half. There's the ball inbound. DeVario from the outside, 2 points.
Well, of their 6 baskets, 5 of them will come from fairly long range, and that's what Daniel's going to have to do, is make them shoot the ball long. They're going into a zone right now.
What kind of zone are we seeing? We're seeing a 2-3 zone?
Yeah, looks like a 2-3 zone. Daniel Mack may just want to slow the pace down a little bit against it.
Leone got with the ball. He's looking for a poser. Feeds it back across to Barlow. Barlow's going to take that shot from the outside. Hit rims once, twice, and back out.
Well, Barlow's sure looking at the middle of the hoop, I'll tell you. The ones he's missed have been right there.
Scott Barlow's fired up. Took a big hit a little earlier, lost a little bit of wind, but he's back in the game, ready to go. DeVario from the outside. That's 4 points in a row for Dave DeVario.
Well, bad break there. Scott Barlow didn't block out. His man got the rebound and got an easy one. They've got to stay tough on the boards.
Is that zone defense we see now from the Hawks? Daniel Mack, Raposio, Ohm's open, takes that shot. Nice shot, Leone. Daniel Mack doing a lot of good things. 24-14, 10-point lead. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks. There's Adams. Adams feeds the ball to Baker. Baker's going to give it back to Adams. Adams going to come around to his left. Nice bounce pass to DeVario. He's going to look for 6 points in a row, and he's got it. That's the last 3 baskets for Dave DeVario, and he's keeping the Hawks in the game, the George Harvey Hawks.
Well, this is really tremendously exciting basketball. We've got a packed house here at Tech Rock.
People that aren't here and you're watching this game at home.
Well, I'm sure the people who are here watching it live are going to be watching it on TV as well. You're going to want to see this game twice if you can.
Got some great basketball action here from the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament, and you're watching VPW Channel 13 Sports. This is high school basketball. Barlow made that first one. That's where he made it, the first shot of the game, and he makes this one now. His team's back up by 10 again. We got 5 minutes remaining.
Well, Daniel's going to try to take a little air out of the ball. I think it's a real good idea on their part. He's going to have to make sure they stay very, very tough on the boards.
Mike Baker, that 5'11", grade 12 student from Toronto, Ontario. The George Harvey Hawks have control of the ball. He feeds it out. Adams gets it inside to Marvin Russell. Russell feeds it back to Adams. Adams likes the outside shots a little long. Gets a couple rolls.
Come on, Joe, get on the board.
They got a foul from behind. I think number 34, Scott Barlow, came from behind, picked up that foul.
Well, I tell you one thing that might be interesting to note. Right now, George Harvey is taking the majority of their shots from the right-hand side of the floor. Ogums is playing the left side of the zone. Most rebounds go away from where you shoot. It may be an idea for Coach May to think about switching the sides that Barlow and Ogums play on. Because right now, Scotty Barlow is getting a little bit beat up on the boards on the inside, and he may want to switch sides with Joe.
Got Richard Walker here at the line. He's going to shoot 2 shots. A little bit of noise from the crowd. I don't know if we like that too much, but he misses that first one. Referee Ron Unruh hands on the ball. A lot of noise from this crowd. The second one's good. His team is down by 9 now. And now the Maroons are going to have to come against that pressure. Catronio feeds it across to Raposo. Raponio in the middle, feeds it to Joe Ogums. Ogums bounce pass to Catronio. He's going to try to bring himself. He's cut off, gets it to Ogum in the middle, and he brings it over the 10-second line.
Very interesting to see what's going to happen now in terms of controlling the tempo. Leone is getting a little bit of a breather, and I think that Ogum's going to have to really help them bring the ball up. Raposo's pretty good with it. So is Barlow, but they're going to need Joe.
Down the Pozo, number 10 with the ball right now. He's looking for someone to feed the ball to. It could be a 5-second. Ogums comes over to help him. Joe Ogums, number 35, the big 6'6" center for the Maroons. And Pozo's open. Nice pass to Cotronio. Short jumper, it won't go. Ogums skies over top, but Walker comes down with a rebound. Richard Walker feeds it out to Deverio. Long pass up to Baker.
Boy, these guys can really play some pressure defense.
Deverio looking for number 8 this quarter, and it won't go, but we got a foul. I think number 10 picks up that foul from behind. Leon is going to substitute back into the game.
Well, John Raposo just gotten a little bit slow there. He's got his feet nailed to the ground there for just a split second. And these guys really, they don't need too much of an opening. You give them an opening, they take the ball to the hoop. Deverio has really helped them here in the second quarter. Shot the eyes out of the basket and really played some tough pressure defense.
Dave Deverio at the line.
Leon back in the game now. Coach May didn't give him too long a breather. He knows how desperately he needs him out there.
Deverio is going to hope to bring his team to back within 7 here. We got 3:48 remaining. It's 26-18 right now. The Maroons are out in front of the Hawks. Deverio at the free throw line. Second one won't go. We've got an 8-point lead. Neil Enns and Joe Ogums come down with the ball.
That's what you like to see, having your two big guys fight for those rebounds.
Joe Ogums driving against Russell. Beats Russell, drives right to the baseline. Turnaround jumper.
Shot
up. Bounces off front and back. The rim goes down. Got Barlow fighting down. Barlow rolls across. We got it knocked off the foot of Leone. Nice call there by referee Ron Unruh. He was right on top of that.
Did you like that call?
Maybe
I don't know. I didn't like that call.
Off his feet.
Coach May didn't like it. People from Winnipeg didn't like it.
Mike Cates, the coach of the Hawks, liked it.
You're right, though. It was a good call by Mr. Unruh. He did a good job.
There it is.
Hey, it's not so much Daniel Mack not playing well, because they're still playing well, but George Harvey has really come to play here.
Nice pass by Ogums. Forgot to put the ball down on the floor. And the Hawks are flying up the court. Deverio on the baseline, underneath, and charging foul.
Yes. Daniel Mack stood in there 4 times. Neil Enns twice, Barlow, and now Ogums have all taken the charge. And that's exactly the kind of thing they needed. Daniel Mack really now must get themselves together, control themselves offensively, and make sure that they get a shot when they come down the other end of the court. The last couple of times down, they've turned it over. And it's very important to them to make sure they get at least one crack at the hoop.
We'll have a little cleaning job done here on the floor. Referee Charlie Kirk with a towel, wipe up some of the wet spots. Very dangerous, the wet spot on the floor. And these players, the way that they're running up and down this court, they hit that the slide, and we've got a bonus situation here.
Move from the doorway.
Blair, I hope you're going to forgive me for that little impropriety there. I know that was a good call by referee Unruh. But I am, if you're going to ask me who I'm cheering for here, there's no question I'm cheering for Daniel Mack. You better be too, Blair. This is a home team, right?
Cheering for the Daniel Mack Maroons, but we're trying to be impartial with this game right now.
Well, you may be impartial, but this is not a national network. Mr. Glimsher told me that I better make sure we cheer for the Winnipeg team.
There's a good shot of the board here, the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. Some of the games that took place a little earlier. The shot comes down. A lot of noise we've got in this crowd. Must be well over 1,000 people here at the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. We got Mike Baker, feeds the ball to Deverio. He just picked up that charging foul, feeds it back to Baker. Baker looking for Adams. He feeds it back to Deverio. Goes for the shot, brings it back. Adams, Delroy Adams down the outside, moves towards the baseline left, feeds it back out to Mike Baker. Number 32, Mike Baker looking down inside for either Walker or number 44 there, Heath. Can't get it. Drives inside, goes right up the middle. Shot goes off. There's Richard Walker underneath. 2 more points. We've got a 27-22 game, 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining, and it's the second quarter.
Well, I tell you, they are really tough on the boards, and it looked like for a minute Joe Ogums was going to try to block that shot, but I think he wisely laid off because Adams had position on him, and I think Joe's very smart not to draw foul.
The play got a little lax there in that first game. In our third place game, the play here is just unbelievable. They're up and down the court, just flying. Neil Enns with the ball now, looking for Leone. He's going to go baseline. Richard Walker cuts him off. He brings it back out to Ogums. Really slowing down the play now, the Maroons. I can't see them playing for one shot here with 1 minute and 40 seconds, but they're
they may be. The only problem is it's so tough to be able to do that against this real tough defense, you know? These guys can really jump. They are quick. They've got the quick hands. They make it very difficult because they pressure so well.
A lot of quickness on this George Harvey Hawks team, Toronto, Ontario. Minute 20 seconds remaining. Joe Ogums with the ball. To his round to his right. Ogums looking for Barlow. Bounces it off to Barlow. DeVario's right on top of Barlow. They're through there by number 12. Adams, he goes through. Trying to cut off Leone. Reaching in that time. They thought there might have been a foul, but Ohm comes up with the ball. Feeds it back out.
I don't like what's happening right now for Daniel Mack. They're being very tentative. They're playing on the sides of the court an awful lot. They've got to make sure they keep looking at the basket if they're going to hold the ball. They may get something easy. They have not had a good offensive quarter. They know it, and I think they're quite smart in trying to play for one shot.
We've got 40 seconds remaining. Leone has the ball against Adams. He penetrates towards the middle, fires it back out. Ogums now with the ball. They're definitely playing for one shot here. 30 seconds now remaining. Leone getting control of the ball. His team's up by 5. It's 27-22. Scott Barlow's at the top.
Come on, Scotty, put it on the floor. That's it.
The ball have to move it. Remember, there's 5 seconds. Almost lost there. Leone gains control. He's being guarded. We got a foul. Delroy Adams reaching in. The coach, Mike Cates, is not very happy on the bench.
Well, they're not happy, but I'll tell you, they played very, very physical. And the way the refereeing has been going throughout much of this tournament, they might have drawn a lot more fouls had the referee not been as
Let's take a look
as
at
loose
that,
as it's been so far. I think the referee has been very good. The fouls that have been called, there's no question about them.
It is 27-22. Leone's going to try to put his team up. A 6-point lead if he can make this first one with a bonus.
Good
He's
shot.
got it. We've got noise from both ends for this capacity crowd here at the Tech
That's not easy. I'll tell you, this is one thing about practicing free throws. A lot of people practice free throws when they're rested. I think it's important to practice free throws when you're tired. Leone has worked his little butt off here for about the last 18 minutes. And he's exhausted at the free throw line. He cans them both. It's very important to practice when you're tired.
What a capacity crowd, and what a game we're underway. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Joe Ogums takes a long shot. He had 10 seconds. I don't think he realized that.
No, he thought there was 1 second left.
Double ones on the board. He only saw one of them. Richard Walker underneath with 2 seconds scores the basket at the end of the first half. 29-23. The Maroons out in front of the George Harvey Hawks.
Well, that's too bad. That was a 4-point play. They could have got one down the other end, but it's too bad. There's so much noise going on in the gym, and that's the way it should be, that he couldn't hear the instructions from the bench, I'm sure. And Joe, of course, did what he thought was right. He thought there was 1 second up on the board. He couldn't tell. Took the long shot. Unfortunately, it worked out against him. Anyway, Blair, just a great half.
Oh, that's a super first half of basketball. We'll be back very shortly with the second half to score. The Danny Mac Maroons 29, the George Harvey Hawks 24. We'll be back in a moment with second half action. Scores 29-24, and for you people that were watching here at halftime, this capacity crowd was entertained by the Modern Gymnastics Club. They did a little demonstration here at the half to this capacity crowd, and there was many people that were still outside, and I don't know where they're going to sit when they come back in. But a lot of people here, and we saw a super first half, and maybe Coach Enge, you can tell us some of the leading scores in that first half.
Well, we did see a great first half, and those girls were quite an attraction. But I'll tell you, I thought the big attraction of the halftime was seeing Morris Glimcher sprint across midcourt and try to avoid those girls. He got some statistics for us. Anyway, what he did get for us was the leading scorers in the first half for George Harvey. Coming off the bench was Dave DeVero, got 9 points. Richard Walker with 5. They have a very balanced attack. For Daniel Mack, Joe Ogums played a strong game at both ends of the court, got 12. And Leone Ong, I think really the control in the game so far, had 9. Very important for Daniel in the second half. As we mentioned at the beginning of the game, control the tempo, make sure you stay tough on the boards, and don't let George Harvey start running on you.
Ogums and Russell. Russell gains control. The Hawks are down by 5 points. It's 29-24. We're starting the third quarter here, and Baker takes a shot from the outside, and his team is now ready to go.
Well, I think I told you before the game that this team was not that good an outside shooting team. I'm obviously wrong. Boy, they've done most of their job so far from the outside. Well, here's Ogums bringing the ball up against the man-to-man pressure. I think a real good move by Daniel Mack. Take a little pressure off of Leone Ong.
Barlow to Cotonio. Frank Cotonio comes across, gives it back to Leone Ong. There's a little guard we were talking about. Tries to get inside to Ogums. We got a foul on the inside.
That's his 4th foul.
Okay, the team here is not very happy. Number 44, Claude, he picks up his 4th foul.
Well, he's the only one in foul trouble. They've got so many people on the bench, it might not affect him that much, but he does have 4 fouls. Here comes DeVero off the bench.
DeVero coming back into the game, and he was hot in that second quarter. He played 6 points in a row. DeVero's going to have to come inside and cover a taller man, either Neil Lenz, Scott Barlow, or... Well, they did a little bit of switching here. The ball's deflected away. Baker comes down and feeds it up court. DeVero, there's his presence again. Takes that shot. Won't go this time. Ogum's up for the rebound. 29-26, 9 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Third quarter action from the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament.
Well, Daniel started very tentatively, exactly the way they did not start the game. We got to see them get a good shot here early. I don't like the way they're playing right now. They've got to make sure they go at him. That's it. Good pass to Ogum.
Nice pass by Ogum.
Come on,
Neil Lenz, and there's a foul. He can't get there to go. But Ogums, I think he fooled everyone with that pass.
Well, he did. That's the kind of thing Joe can go right up and stuff it. But I think he made a good pass to Neil. Neil was just a little bit slow reacting. I think he should have been able to finish that. Certainly he got fouled, but you got to look for 3 points on those plays.
Let's see.
There it is inside. Come on, Neil. Nope. A little bit late. Holding the ball down. Got to keep it up.
Can't get the first one to go. He turns around a little dejected, but he's going to get another shot at this. His team's up by 3 points right now, and he'd like to move them up 30-26. Crowd making a lot of noise. 30-26. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks. We're in for some basketball entertainment. 2-2-1 pressure now the Maroons putting on. Hawks bring across the 10-second line. That was number 14, Richard Walker, one of the leading scorers. Puts it back. Mike Baker now, number 32, takes that jump shot, top of the key, 30-28. You got a 2-point game.
Boy, he's taking some real tough shots, but he's made some too, I'll tell you.
Baker picking up his 4th point of the hat. Ogums loses control. Russell down with it, feeds it off to little Adams. Delroy Adams, this shot won't go.
Come on, Barlow.
DeVero got position on Barlow.
Yep.
That foul was up, and we've got a...
Daniel got a break there.
As quickly, Ogums gets the ball inside. Ogums,
well, they're going to have Ogums bring the ball up against Russell, but I'll tell you, this is strength on strength. Because Russell is very quick.
6'6". Ogums bring the ball up. Cotroneo, 32-28.
Well, they needed that. They really needed that. Cotroneo doesn't shoot the ball that often. But they made him take the shot, and he said, fine, I'll make it. And he did.
Okay, Marvin Heath now brings the ball across, leads off to Baker. Baker's hit 4 points in a row now for the Hawks. Baker's got control of the ball. Number 32 feeds it up to number 12, Delroy Adams. Adams up to Marvin Russell. Russell outside DeVero. DeVero gives it back. Adams fires it across number 32, Baker. He's made the last 4. Nice pass inside to number 14, Walker. He goes up over top of Neil Lenz. 32-30. Quick pass down court.
That's something Daniel does fairly well. Every once in a while, when the other team scores, they sneak Leoneong down the other end. Joe Ogum steps out of bounds and fires it to him. But these guys from Harvey are so quick. And I don't mean just physically. They're mentally pretty quick, too. They're
Joe Ogum.
smart.
There it is.
Good basket.
Once again, it's a 4-point lead.
Yeah, I tried to draw the foul, too, but Marvin Russell's a pretty smart fella. He said, no thanks. Gave him the basket.
Russell's open. He goes against Ends. He stops when he gets inside the key. Feeds it back out. Delroy Adams uses Russell for a screen. Can't get that shot to go. It rolls off the rim. That mesh, once again, is stuck up on the rim. Could come into play a little later on. Joe Ogums, once again, brings it up against Russell. Capacity crowd here. And there's the yo-yo.
I think a very, very important move by Coach May at halftime. Having Joe Ogums bring the ball up, take a little bit of that pressure off of Leoneong. Not so much that he can't handle it, because he sure can. But boy, he was really getting tired there in the first half. I think it's a great move by Coach May.
DeVero now with the ball. Number 34, DeVero with a pink undershirt on underneath his uniform. Hawks are in red. There's a shot from the outside. Baker seemed to get himself hurt on that play. He's limping a little bit. Delroy Adams. Joe Ogums has got his shoelace that's undone, looking to get it tied.
Daniel Matt guards have got to get on those defensive boards. Rebounding is not just a 3-man job. Especially when you play that zone, you better make sure your guards are getting some rebounds. George Harvey's picked up about 2 straight long rebounds. Inside the ends.
Okay, it's 36-32. 4-point lead for the Maroons. Scott Barlow has the ball. Barlow at top of the key. Nice shot by Scott Barlow for 2 more.
Boy, was that a tough shot.
The Maroons are playing super basketball here.
Well,
Good pressure.
Scotty did that last night against Elmwood, too. He really made some tough baskets, but he right now is fearless.
It is Adams inside to Russell. Russell moves around Ogums. Ogums comes back to get a hand on him, but I think he got a foul.
Yeah.
Ogums picking up that
no
foul.
doubt about it. That's just real good passing by George Harvey. Very unselfish. I think we're going to get to see this again, and you're going to see they make some super passes. Look at the baseline, back inside. Move it.
Nice move by Russell.
Yeah,
on
good
Ogums
move.
there.
Good foul by Joe. I'm sure he didn't want to foul him, but he didn't give up the basket.
6'3" Marvin Russell from the George Harvey Hawks. Good picture of the coach here of the George Harvey Hawks. Is that Mike Keats? Russell from the line. His shot won't drop.
Russell really hasn't been too much of a force offensively. There's Coach May on the bench. He yesterday made two of the most unbelievable slam dunks in the course of the game against the Halifax team. But today, Ogums and Ends have really done a good job on him inside.
Both of those, Russell missed both of them, and Maroons come down with a rebound. We've got 5 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. We've got a 6-point lead. The Maroons are out in front of the Hawks. Leone is bringing the ball against Deverio. Leone uses Ogums for a screen. Tries to get it. Ogums tips it back up. 2 points. I almost jumped out of my seat on that one.
Yeah, you did. Well, Leone's really playing under control. I think he took a good shot there. It's just a bad break that ball didn't go in. But Jones right on the spot, tapping it back in. Oh, good defense by Neil Ends. Oh, my goodness. Neil looks like a bit like a ballet dancer out there today. I think he weighs about 210.
Neil Ends, big 6'5" left-handed forward for the Maroons. Got in the passing lane, intercepted that one. Leone has it knocked away. They're fighting for the ball. Leone trying to pick it up. He should just go down and hold on to it. He's got a jump ball.
Yeah, good hustle.
I think
too bad. One of Leone's few mistakes today. Just he started that scrum out there, Blair. There was a little bit of a turnover earlier, but he was smart enough to hustle back and get it.
Number 22, Kevin Pollard from the Hawks, and number
he's not going to win this jump, though, I'll tell you that.
Pollard seemed to get up a little high on that one.
Well, Leone didn't waste any energy. He knew it's best to save it. Got to play defense now, Leone.
22, Pollard gives it back to Baker. Baker's number 32, feeds it inside to Pollard. Pollard, lots of height off the boards, it won't go. Ogums tried to pick up the ball, looked quickly down court for Ogums was breaking, but the ball's knocked away, and Daniel Mack's going to regain possession of this ball.
Well, look out. George Harvey is really starting to go to the boards, and those people from Daniel Mack had better start doing some blocking out.
A stack going on by the Maroons, try to inbound the ball. The ball's knocked away by Deverio. It's going to go back once again to the Maroons. Good shot of Coach Laurie May, assistant coach Greg Bouchard in the Daniel Mack Maroons bench. Ogums inbounds the ball. Leone gets it knocked away from behind. Man's to gain control, and he's got a little bit of a break. He slows it up a little bit.
Good job, Leone. Smart play.
He's got the ball, and there's a good. Number 35, Marvin Russell, reached in, got the ball, held on. How did you see that one?
Well, I tell you, I'm watching this game from with Daniel Mack perspective, so it's kind of tough to ask me. I thought it was a foul, but probably pretty good referee in there.
Referees, Charlie Kurtz throwing up this ball and run unraw. Leone didn't even bother to jump. I think he knew what was going to happen there. Baker takes that shot, goes high. Ogums trying to rebound, quick pass to Leone. Can he catch it? Good try by Leone to bring it into play, but it stopped. There's a quick pass, 3-on-1. Nice move to the hoop. Pollard goes up high. We got a blocking foul. Number 33, Catronio, and I think he's hurt. Frank Catronio went down hard on this Tech Box Gymnasium floor.
Well, we're going to see this again. Kind of tough. This is what Daniel Mack does not want to see. 3-on-1. Catronio tried to get the block. No, he definitely moved his feet. He was not set. That was a good call. Good call.
Number 42, an intentional foul.
Kevin Pollard has picked up an intentional foul, and I haven't seen what happened there, but both referees, and there's a meeting now.
Was that on the same play, Blair?
It must have been on the same play because I didn't see any action take place.
Well, where's our producer when we need him? John, if you got a chance to show this again, we'd sure like to see it. I don't know what happened here. Maybe that was after the guy went down. He might have committed. Okay, I think what happened is that foul must have been committed after he had the blocking foul.
Well, Pollard's going to shoot, so that must have been what it was.
Yeah, Pollard must have done something to him.
Pollard gets his 2 shots from the line, and then we're going to see Frank Catronio come down at the other end and take 2 shots.
Well, I don't know if it'll be Catronio. It may be...
Could have been on... Referee Ron Kurtz here discussing what happened. We're not too sure what took place. Maybe it's going to be a jump ball at center. I wish we could get one of the referees over here for a ruling. Don't seem to know what's going on. Something took place that we didn't see.
I don't know. The last time I asked the referee to explain something, he told me to keep my mouth shut. So I really wouldn't want to talk to them.
And I know it's not very often that you ever ask a referee to explain something.
No. I try to stay away from them as much as we possibly can. Unfortunately, these guys sure seem to know the rules an awful lot better than we do. But Centronio will shoot. And I think it's probably, as we gathered, that after he committed the foul, I guess Pollard must have, taken a little swing at him or something. Frank is shooting 2 shots.
That's probably what did happen. Centronio's got a second shot, and the crowd is not very happy with the Daniel Mac Maroons right now.
Let's make one thing very clear here in case people are misunderstanding us. His refereeing has been absolutely great in this game. In the first half, I thought they had it totally under control. It's been a very emotional first half. The crowd is very much into the game, and I think they've done a super job.
Tough game to referee, and take a look at referee Charlie Kurtz's uniform here, and it's completely wet. He's been sweating. He's running up and down the court just as much as the players are. It's 40-33. We've got 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. The Maroons are out in front of the Hawks in third quarter action here. There's a quick pass up. Mike Baker going up against Tony. Who stops? A lot of height on these, but they're often balanced a little bit. Richard Walker goes up, and we got a foul. I think Scott Barlow might have picked that one up, number 34 for the Maroons.
Well, Daniel Mack is stopping to look at the basket. They've got to make sure that they keep on looking at the hoop. Right now, they're trying to play safe. I don't think that's the kind of thing you can do against George Harvey. They're just too quick. They're going to make you make so many mistakes.
Baker has number 21 on the outside there. Shot goes up, it won't go. Richard Walker comes down with it off the glass. Walker picking up his 9th point, and it's 40-35. We've got a 5-point lead now. The Maroons are out in front of the Hawks. Ogums gives it back to Leone Ohm. There's the ball. It's knocked out of bounds, and Daniel Mack's going to regain control.
That's a very physical game right now, and that certainly is to George Harvey's advantage. Daniel Mack, first of all, is not used to playing games like this, because I would say in terms of physical basketball, we play a pretty tame level of basketball in this province. We're not used to this aggressive style of play.
There it is, a turnover. The Hawks are going to take control of the ball. They quickly fire it in. Leone Ohm's going to have to hustle back. Mike Baker, he's open from the top of the key. 2 points. We got it, and we got a blocking foul on Scott Barlow, number 34. And now the momentum seems to change. The Hawks are on a roll.
Well, I think Coach May's going to have to call a timeout. I really don't understand that call. I'll be very honest with you. I really don't understand that call. It looked to me, if we can see a replay, we'll find out whether Barlow was set or not, but I sure think he was.
I've got to agree with you there. I thought the shot had already gone through the basket before any contact was made. If it wasn't.
All right, let's take a look at it again. You play referee at home and see what you can do. Here comes Baker. There's Barlow. No, I think the referee was right. He wasn't set.
Barlow was moving in as Baker came down. He had his own cylinder to come down in.
Referee was right. But a very good timeout call by Coach May. I think right now he's got to get the guys settled down. Right now they've become very, very intent on, they're worried about the referees a bit too much. And they can't do that. They've got to start worrying about their own game right now. And basically their problems have been that they've become very, very tentative offensively. They have not been looking at the basket. And secondly, down at the other end, they just have not been on the boards. And they've got to make sure they rebound with these George Harvey guys because, I mean, you know that every one of those kids are going to go on up as high as they possibly can. They're going to rebound. They're going to keep on shooting the ball. And Daniel Mack cannot play safe. They got to play just exactly like they did in the first half. Move the ball, look for the right kind of shots, and take them.
Well, just as you mentioned a little earlier, you thought Daniel Mack, Coach May should call a timeout. He has. And I don't think that Daniel Mack is praying for things to happen in 3. This is their 3rd straight year in the final here. They lost the 2 previous years. I think they're ready for a victory, and they're sure working for one. But right now, the momentum seems to be in the George Harvey favor. And if the Hawks can control it, they're down by 3 right now. They got a chance to move within 1. They haven't had the lead in this game at all. Daniel Mack has been out in front from the first basket, but the Hawks now have a chance to move within 1, and it's Mike Baker with the ball. Nice bounce pass inside to Walker. Walker feeds it off to number 22, Kevin Pollard. The shot won't drop for him. Ogums comes down with a rebound.
Come on, Daniel, let's run a little bit.
2:35 remaining. Leone with the ball. DeVario guarding him very closely as he tries to bring the ball across the midcourt line. He's able. Barlow sets a pick for him. Dribbles down to his right. Leone.
And they're not looking at the basket. They've got to start doing that a little more.
Nice pass out to Ogums. He's going to go up. He's open.
Tough shot.
Shot's short, but Leone comes down and off the glass. We got 2 points. Nice position by Leone. Ball dropped to the ground.
Well, I guess if you can be lucky, you might not have to be good. But that was good fortune that Daniel Mack really needed right there.
42-37 now. 2 minutes remaining. Third quarter action. This is the championship game, and you're watching it on VPW Channel 13 Sports. I'm Blair Duguay, and along with Bruce Enns. There's Baker. He goes up, takes a shot, can't get the go. Walker comes down with it. Once again, number 35, Marvin Russell gets a foot to go. The basket's going to count, and we've got a foul on Frank Cotroneo, and he just shakes his head on that one.
Well, I feel sorry for Frank Cotroneo, but the last few times down, Frank just has simply said, I can't jump with you, but for goodness sake, you still got to get position in there and make it tough. He's just let that guy get position on him the last few times, and if you let Marvin Russell do that to you, forget it, it's over. Frankie's just going to have to be a little bit tougher on the boards.
Russell comes up short, but that was 3 offensive rebounds for the Hawks. They got 2 points out of it. Maroons aren't going to block out. They're going to get a lot of offensive rebounds because there's a lot of people that can sky for that basket on that George Harvey Hawks team. We got to jump.
Well, they really wear you down, too. You can see a little bit on Daniel Mack. Some of the guys are getting a little bit tired, and I think it's time. You got to start going to your horse right now.
Walker comes down with that. Nice tries to feed off to Pollard. Pollard dribbles it out of bounds. Ball's going to go over to the Maroons.
Daniel Mack has got to get the ball in to Ogums. Ogums and Barlow, I don't think they've had many. They certainly haven't had many good shots in the second half if they've had any.
In front of our cameras here, we've got number 35, 2 35s, 1 in white and 1 in red, and that's Joe Ogums and Marvin Russell, and they're battling. Ogums gets that ball. Russell's right with him. Ogums going to bring it up against Russell. Russell's pushing him. There's no call. Ogums gets it over the 10-second line. Joe Ogums, number 35 for the Daniel Mack Maroons, feeds it off to Leone. He's being double-teamed. They're reaching in on him. He fires the ball away. Thought there should have been a foul. Baker can move his team within 1 turnaround jumper. It's 42-41. We got a minute and 15 seconds remaining, and a 1-point game. Ohms open, drives inside. I thought he's got from behind. We got a basket and a foul.
Well, that's really super because Daniel right there was just getting absolutely worn down emotionally and physically. And thank goodness for the mental presence of Ogums and Leone looking for the break, because no matter how hard they worked, it just looked like they weren't going to get some baskets, so they said, let's get an easy one. And they did. Leone's got a chance for a 3-point play.
Leone was all by himself, and the foul was on number 14, Richard Walker. He put a hand on his back. If he was going to try anything, he should have put his arms around the ball to stop the shot. He let him go. He's got a chance for a 3-point play. The Maroons are going to try to move up by 4 points. And the crowd is making a lot of noise, almost concentrating on that backboard.
Well, this is really too bad. I'm really disappointed in this crowd. These people are all from Winnipeg. For goodness sake, how come they're not cheering for a Winnipeg team? To have them booing Daniel Mack is really disappointing.
On the outside there, we got a basket. Number 33, Wilson Allen, come back into the game. He came in early in the first quarter, hit his basket, back in now. There's another basket for him. It's a 44-43 game. 1-point lead. The Daniel Mack Maroons are out in front. We got 45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Championship action from the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. Scott Barlow with the ball, feeds it off to Joe Ogums.
Well, I think they may be playing for one shot again.
They held up with about 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Now there's 30 seconds remaining. They're going to hold up here for one shot. The only Ohms being double-teamed. DeVario and Russell are right on him. Feed the ball out, gets it to Barlow. Barlow didn't hustle enough. Baker comes down, steals it. We got a foul. Joe Ogums reaching in. And it's a 2-shot foul.
That's a good foul by Joe. But you can really see what's happening. They are double-teaming Leone. I think they're doing some reaching. I know he thinks so. But he's just going to have to hang in and maybe stay away from the sidelines a little bit. Try to stay in the middle of the floor just a little bit. On this replay, you're going to see the steal. Here goes Baker. Joe Ogums really hustling back.
Hustle.
Good foul. Good foul. They're going to have to come down and see if they can score at the other end here.
Number 32 for the Hawks. We have Mike Baker at the line. 22 seconds remaining. The score is 44-43. And now we hear the noise once again. It's not quite as loud as when Ohms at the line. And there it is, our first tie of the game. It's 44 all, and this is the first time we've been tied since the opening tip-off.
Well, I really don't like to say very much about fans, but I think we have some problems in this city for all our teams. Fans do not come out and support teams. They seem rather to cheer against teams rather than support good play. And I'm really disappointed in that. For goodness sake, we want to win this tournament. Somebody in this city to prove that we can play basketball with these people from Toronto.
There
they should
it
be
is.
cheering for us. Great shot by Leone.
Nice move by Leone, but they get a quick basket down court. Number 33 goes up. He gets the 2 points. Wilson Allen. It's 47-46. The George Harvey Hawks are up front. We got 1 second remaining, and that's the end of the third quarter. The first 2 leads of the game for the George Harvey Hawks. They came back to take a 45-44 lead. The crowd jumped off their feet. Now they're completely for the George Harvey Hawks. I don't seem to understand it either. Leone Young came down, made a nice basket, came back the other way. We've got a 47.
Let me just finish the comment very quickly, and I'll leave the fans, because fans pay their money and they have a right to cheer for whoever they wish to. It bothers me a little bit that in this city we don't seem to want to have people be winners. And I really think that you can cheer for whoever you want to when they're playing in your own league. But for goodness sake, if we're playing against an opponent, we got to close ranks, fellas. We got to make sure that we're cheering for our own, because our object, of course, is to get as good basketball as we possibly can. And I really think it's too bad that we don't cheer, for the people who are representing us, because this is a great game, and I don't think we should be booing other teams. We should be cheering for good play. Anyway, let it just suffice at that. Right now, it's very important for Daniel Mack that they somehow regain their control. Right now, both emotionally and physically, they've lost it a little bit. George Harvey is so incredibly quick, physically and mentally. They are just a really super talented team. In the first 2 games, I really thought they were basically a run and jump team. But in this game, they've shown that they can do it from the outside. Mike Baker especially has just shot the eyes out. They've been a great outside shooting team. Daniel Mack has got to slow things down a little bit and get some good shots inside. Keep on looking at the hoop, fellas.
Okay, we've got 10 minutes remaining. There's the tip-off. Ogums goes up above Russell, gets it to Leone Young. Maroons are down by 1 point. This is only the second time in the game they've been behind. Scott Barlow tries to get inside. Neil Lenz, left-handed shot. It won't go for him.
That's all right. Good shot.
There's Baker.
Got to get back.
Baker using his speed to move upside. Quick pass, nice inside to Russell. Russell gets it to fall for him. 49-46. 3-point lead for the George Harvey Hawks. Leone Young with the ball. Number 5 for the Daniel Mack Maroons, Leone Young. He brings it across with his left hand. He brings it right across the court. Puts it in his right, looks inside to Ogums. Pass was a little too quick. It went off of his hand.
Yeah, they got Joe where they wanted him, but the pass was a little bit quick.
The ball did deflect off of number 14, Richard Walker, for the Hawks. And we're going to have Maroons taking the ball. Number 10, John Raposo, subs in for number 33, Frank Antonio. Neil Lenz, he feeds the ball off to Ong. Leone Young out to Raposo. Raposo into Ong. Ong looking inside for Ogums. Ogums trying to cut across the middle. A little too slow coming across. Raposo hits Scott Barlow. Barlow back out to Raposo. Number 10, John Raposo just subs into the game. Feeds it the ball. Taken away by number 34, Dave DeVario. DeVario's played a good, strong
they got
game.
some quick hands, don't they?
They now move up to a 5-point lead. The Hawks, we've got 8 minutes, 55 seconds remaining. 49-46. George Harvey Hawks out in front of the Daniel Mack Maroons. There's Baker once again from the outside. He's hitting those perimeter shots.
Well, he's really done a job, hasn't he? I mean, he's taken a couple of real tough shots, but boy, he's made most of them.
Baker, he keeps up like this, could be one of our all-star selections immediately following this game. We'll have the awards presentations. There's Joe Ogums, another fine player. Joe Ogums has been an all-star in the last 2 years, looking for his 3rd consecutive
Well, they've got to
all-star.
keep on doing that more often. They've got to get some high percentage shots, and they've got to see if they can maybe get some 3-point plays and draw some fouls. You've got to go to your horse right now, and that's Ogums. Let's not kid ourselves. It's Joe. And Joe's got to see the ball down in deep.
51-48, 3-point lead. The Hawks out in front. There's a cross-court pass. Number 33 there, Allen feeds it back to DeVario. Winter Allen from the outside. Nice shot. It won't go.
Good rebound by Barlow.
Scott Barlow got position that time, and he needed that one.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about before with Frank Antonio getting beat to position. Barlow really blocked out well that time.
Maroons are hoping to pull now within 1 point. Raposo's on them. Leone Young on the outside. Feeds it inside to Ogums. That's where they wanted to get it. He gets
There you go.
There you go. On the 50. And the crowd's coming back a little bit. 7 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. We've got a 51-50 game.
My guys got to pick off a couple of passes. How many fouls on Joe Ogums? Any idea?
I think it's only 2 fouls.
2 fouls?
2 fouls. If you look on the board right now, they've got number 35, and I think that's 2 fouls on Ogums, so he can really play aggressively. Get up there. There's an aggressive rebound. Okay, now the Maroons can move back out in the front, and they call a timeout. I think they're going to set up one good play on the inside to try to score that basket.
Well, I think he probably wants to reassert exactly what they've been doing the last minute. Come out on the floor. Maybe cut your dribbling down a little bit, guys, because these guys are playing such tight man-to-man, and their hands are so quick. It looks like reaching, but I'll tell you, they don't seem to be reaching that much. They just have good, quick hands. So maybe we got to cut down our dribble a little bit, set some screens away from the ball, and let's see if we can get the ball into our horse. See whether we can get Ogums, see whether we can get ends inside, see whether we can draw some fouls, get some high percentage shots, maybe get some three-point plays. Down at the other end, force some outside shots. Don't let them run.
51
Make sure we control the boards.
George Harvey out in front of Daniel Mack. We've got 7 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here. This is the championship game of the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. And we've got action here on VPW Channel 13 Sports. Good shot here, the George Harvey bench.
Yeah, Blair, I've been very one-sided in this whole game, and I will continue to be so. But we've got to say, George Harvey is just an absolutely super ball club. And I think what Mike Cates is saying to them, guys, we got to keep the tempo up. Don't slow them down. Wear them down, wear them down. See if you can get good shots and really go to the boards hard.
There's Mike Cates on our screen there, and he's probably saying those exact things to his team. The Maroons can now pull back into the lead. They've been in the lead most of the game. They're down right now by 1 point. They've got the ball. There's a foot violation there on number 34, Dave DeVario for the Hawks. Bad pass inside. Leonion hustles. Huggins Neal ends up. 2 points. 52 to 51.
Very smart play by Joe Ogums tapping that ball.
Good hustle. Leonion and Ogums over the end. I thought maybe Hans might go up and just slam that one, but he wanted to make sure he put it off the boards.
Yeah, I have a feeling Neal has played so hard. I'm not sure if he had the energy left to go off.
Probably not. The big 6'5" forward carries a lot of weight, but that was a nice basket, and his team's out in front. Shot short, and there's Neal Enns once again.
Yeah.
Good rebound, and we got a foul from behind.
Well, the tempo
I think
has
that's
changed.
it for number 44.
The tempo has changed. Very important for Daniel to avoid dribbling near the sideline. And they've kept the ball to the middle, they've got the ball inside, and suddenly the tempo's in their favor. They've got to keep it this way.
I thought that might have been Claude Heath picking up that foul, but it turned out to be Richard Walker. That's his 3rd foul. It's the team's 5th. Uggams, nice move inside, little finger roll, it won't drop. Neal Enns once again, he can't get to go. He's fighting with his own man for the rebound. Travel ball, because I don't think they could have 2 Daniel Mack players jump for that one. But hey,
too bad Neal missed
that's what you
one.
need.
Joe took a very tough shot, but they got fortunate, and Neal got the rebound, couldn't put it in. Too bad.
Try, there's Baker from the outside. Pardon me, that was close with the ball stuffed up against the glass. What's the call on that one? They had the ball stuffed up. I don't understand that.
I don't know what the call was. I really don't know, but it went against Marvin Russell.
I thought maybe for a second the ball might have been caught alongside of the boards there in the basket, but it seemed to come out.
Little half-court press here from George Harvey.
Very old starting on, gets the ball to Raposo. He's being double teamed.
They got to get the ball to
move. Good move by
John
Raposo.
Come on, Joe, look at the basket.
Goes turned around looking the other way. Assistant coach there, Betcherman, jumps up off the bench. He's screaming defensive instructions.
I'm surprised that they've gone to this half court. I think this is good for Daniel.
Joe Ogums is on the small man.
At the bottom.
Nice shot, Joe Ogums. 54-51, a 3-point lead for the Maroons. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Baker comes up court. Leads the ball off. There's number 33, Winston Allen. Allen made some key baskets for his team inside to Marvin Russell. Russell moves on the outside against Raposo. Raposo using his body for a push, and I think he's just picked up his 4th personal foul, and that's going to put the George Harvey team into a bonus situation, and these points are going to be vital for them to get back into this game.
I'll tell you who Daniel Mack might want to look to use in the last few minutes here. Right now they need some defense, and Glenn Vargas they want to think about putting him in the game. Of course, I certainly don't know the team like Coach May does, but Johnny Raposo's in foul trouble. They may need Vargas. I'll tell you, he's a very tough defensive player.
We've got a timeout on the floor. It's 54-51. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks. 5 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. And we remind you once again to stay tuned immediately following our game, as we'll have the award ceremonies for the third place and championship teams, as well as the All-Stars, and maybe we'll be able to get in an interview or two with some of the key players in today's games. This is high school basketball, and we're promoting the high school athletes. We'd like to talk to some of the athletes here and see them on VPW Channel 13 Sports.
Well, this has really been an exciting tournament. Feminine pulchritude is everywhere.
Everywhere. Good.
I think that means good-looking girls.
Good shot of the cheerleaders. Some of the cheerleaders there from the George Harvey Hawks team in Toronto. They brought their cheerleaders down with them, as did most of the other teams traveling to this tournament. Nice to see so many pretty young ladies, and there's some more people in the crowd here. Good shot of this crowd. Young men and young ladies. This crowd, 1,200 people here at the Tech-Vox Gymnasium. Watching very intensively as this game is progressing with 5 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. A 3-point lead for the Maroons over the Hawks. And Marvin Russell, the 6'3" grade 12 student, is going to go to the line. There's that noise once again. Crowd's fired up. Russell, I don't think, has made one shot from that free throw line today, and that's hurt his team a little bit. Scott Barlow.
Well, I think Joe Ogums has won that personal battle. I mean, Russell is certainly a fine player, but I'll tell you, Joe's, I thought, played an excellent game so far, both ends of the court.
Joe Ogums has played at the top of his game.
Got to get him the ball. There he is.
He's on Russell. He's looking around. Good fake. Good turnaround. Beautiful basket. Joe Ogums, what a phenomenal basketball player. That was a great move. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He faked him right, faked him left, turned around. Two points.
Timeout called by George
Harvey taking their third timeout. They've got 2 left. 4:45 remaining, 56-51. And let's see what Joe Ogums does on that play.
Well, he's waiting very patiently. Russell with his hands down. No way he's going to block the shot with his hands down. I think Coach Cates right now is talking about, hold it, fellas. Right now it's Joe Ogums' time, and we better do something to see if we can stop them from getting him the ball. If he does get it, what are we going to do? And I think what you may see when that ball goes down into Joe, you're going to see somebody doubling down on him, make him throw the ball back up. Because if Joe doesn't have to kick it out, I think he can do an awful lot of scoring down there, because as athletic and quick as these guys are, Joe can play with every single one of them.
Well, Joe Ogums has got about 3 or 4 inches on his nearest rival on this George Harvey team, and I think that's helping a little bit, those turnaround jumpers. If he can keep hitting those, this Daniel Mac team's going to do all right. 4:45, his team's up by 5 points, 56-51. The Maroons out in front of the Hawks. The Hawks have the ball, and I think that Daniel Mac's going to put on some pressure. Got to give a lot of credit to the Daniel Mac team. They haven't used very many players, but they're still playing right into the final moments of this game with their hearts.
Well,
pressure up and down the court.
Each team has its own identity, and George Harvey plays an awful lot of people, but you can see there's certain guys who have been playing an awful lot more than others.
There it is, Claude Heath. He's got 4 fouls back in the game.
That's a tough shot. That fellow's been on the bench for most of the game, and he comes off the bench and cans his first one, a real big shot. Very important. He's subbed back in the game with 4 fouls, and it's his job to see if he can stop Joe Ogums right now. There he goes.
There it is, and Ogums beat him. Goes up. No, I don't think. Ron Onwalk calls a travel. I won't even mention that one. There it was. Referees have done a fine job, but that play. Fuller with the ball, feeds it back number 34, gets it inside, there's Adams. Delroy Adams gives it back to DeVario. DeVario is the grade 13 student from the Ontario high schools. DeVario gives it to Russell, he loses it 56-53, 3 minutes 50 seconds remaining, 3-point lead by the Maroons. DeVario takes that shot from the key, it won't go. Adams rushes in for the rebound. We got a jump ball. I think Delroy Adams and Scott Barlow are going to jump. Unrah's going to turn this one up.
Scotty may have got bumped a little bit there. It's very important now. He's going to have to tap it to the right guy. It's going to be an even jump, I think. Scotty got it to Ogums. Well done, Scotty.
I was watching that jump ball, and it looked to me like the George Harvey Hawks team. Not one of their players had their hands up, and I couldn't understand it. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. The team's down by 3, and everybody's with their hands on their hips. Leone with the ball now.
Come on, Leone, look at the basket. Come on, guys.
Looking inside, Ogums is fighting. Ogums dribbles down to his left. DeVario's right on top of him. Feeds off to Barlow. Barlow's get pushed on the play. Baker comes away with it. Moves down on Raposo. Turns around. He can't get it go. Nice move by Scott Barlow. He's going to have to feed it off rather quickly now. Scott Barlow, good turn. Players move the other way. Slow it up a little bit, Scott. Leone Young now with the ball to Raposo. 3 minutes remaining. 3-point lead for the Maroons.
Come on, Daniel. Got to look at the hoop.
Only one Winnipeg team has ever won this tournament. Daniel trying to make it number 2. They're trying to make it their first win in 3 years in the final. Ogum's rejected. Hits it away. Heath comes down with it. And there's Baker. Fires it up quite quickly. Barlow loses control. Neil Lenz waiting. Puts his arm out. And Joe Ogum skies, and I think he's hurt. I think he jammed his knee. What a blow this could be to the Daniel Mac Maroons.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
I hope there's a trainer somewhere on the floor to come and take a look. His knee looked like it walked right on him.
I don't know if we're going to see this again. We are going to see this again, but young Joe's obviously in pain. Watch this great block by Joe. Oh, I think he just landed on it badly, didn't he?
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a twist of the knee.
The way that he might have hit that, though, his calf might have just cramped right up on it because he hit it so solid. But
well, I know Joe loses an awful lot of fluid during the games, and at halftime he had some cramps, and again at three-quarter time I saw him really trying to stretch out his calves, so he's got some muscle cramp problem. Let's hope that that's all it is right here.
The way they're working on his foot right now,
I think it's a muscle cramp.
The way they're trying to bend it, I think he's cramped right up. Let's take a look and see just what happens. Maybe one more time we'll see as he comes down on this. There's a cut. There it is. And I think just as he went up to jump, if we saw that, you could see him straighten his leg out, and I think there was a cramp in the lower calf, and that's probably what happened to him. And you can see they're rubbing that leg right now, and that's probably just what it is. And that's going to be a benefit for the Daniel Mac Maroons, because if it was a knee, that might be the end of it. But I think he'll be able to come right back. He may be a little stiff, but that's not going to keep him out of this game. 56 to 53, 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining. This is the championship game from the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament.
Well, what's very important we talked about during that third place game was the quality of play. And the quality of play in this game, I think, has been very consistent. It's been intense. It's been hard-nosed. And there's been some real good team play, as well as, of course, all the tremendous individual play. George Harvey has shot the ball from the outside an awful lot more in this game, as we mentioned, than they have in other games. Daniel Mac, at times, has been very, very patient, looking to make sure they get the right kind of shots. At other times, they tend to get a little bit rattled with that pressure. But I'll tell you, overall, it's just been an excellent game, both from a critical and from a fan's standpoint. Ogum's really still does seem to be in some pain. I think they're wise in delaying the game as much as possible. As soon as he can get that cramp loosened up, they're, of course, going to have to sub for him. But we've got 2.5 minutes left to go in this game, and obviously they're going to want to see if they can get him back in the game.
Looks now like they might be working on the hamstring area. Cramp all the way up his leg.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on VPW.
Yes, it's just a cramp. Thank goodness for that. There's nothing broken.
Good shot of the people here in attendance at this Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. We've got a capacity crowd, and I don't think anyone can find a seat. There's people standing in the doorway.
You can see that muscle is like a rock. I don't know how he's going to get back in this game.
He's going to stretch it out, walk it off as much as he can, but it doesn't look good for the Maroons right now, as that is a very painful thing to have happen as a leg cramp. I know that I've had a couple of them. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, my goodness.
That
you can just see the muscle sticking out.
As stiff as can be. And I don't think that Joe's going to get back in this game, and I don't think it would benefit the Maroons to put him back into the leg like that. Now it's going to see whether these Maroons can pull together. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. They're up by 3 points.
I'm going to suggest something right now. They're going to have to try to hold the ball and win the game from the foul line. I really think they don't want to play with them. They want to try to keep it away from them if they can. They may need a timeout.
And if Raposo wants to have his team go the foul line, they're going to need 2 more fouls by the Hawks. Hawks currently are sitting with 5 team fouls, while the Maroons have put the Hawks in the bonus situation.
The sideline.
Double teaming. Leone Young gets it back to Barlow. Barlow moves out nice. Barlow, nice bounce pass, and that's what they're doing. They're delaying a little bit.
Yeah.
We're down to 2 minutes, and there's a 3-point lead. And Don't think it'll be too long before the Hawks start to foul, although they are very quick on defense. There it is. There's one foul. They've got one more to give now before they'll put them into the bonus situation. And Ogums is trying desperately on that far side to get back into this game. I don't know if we can get a shot of Ogums over in the far corner. Joe Ogums, he's working on that cramp, trying to get that stiffness out. I don't know if he'll come back in the game. 1 minute and 54 seconds remaining. There's Raposa with the ball. Loses control. The ball's knocked away. Once again, it goes to the Maroons. 56-53. 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining. We got the ball underneath. There's Neil Lenz with it. Neil Lenz doesn't even look towards the basket. He's reaching for it. There's number 32. Yeah. Baker picking up that foul. Now we're in the bonus situation.
Well done. The big fella really controlled the ball. As I said, these George Harvey guys, their hands are so quick. I have never been able to see it. I have never seen a team with as many players with the quick hands to be able to steal as many balls as they have. And Daniel Mack has really responded well to the pressure. Sure, they've given the ball up at times, but by and large, they have really handled themselves well.
There it is, Neil Lenz. He needs this one. It's short. They come down with a rebound.
Come on, guys, defense.
He's quickly up now. We got 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining. It's 56-53. And the way that Joe Ogums is looking on that far side, you can see him in the back of your screen. I think he wants to come back in. He's jogging a little bit. There's Baker. Baker trying to get the ball across. There's Allen. Allen for that shot. Little long Barlow with position.
Oh, a great rebound.
Good hustle. And we got a
great rebound by Barlow.
Yeah. Barlow and Russell are going to jump now. 1 minute 27 seconds remaining.
Well, every second that goes off the clock right now is to Daniel's advantage.
It's your advantage here in the jump ball to have your hands up.
Well, you want to be ready. That's
okay. Allen takes the ball away from Petronio. 56-55. We got a 1-point lead. Leone bringing the ball up. 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining. Brings the ball across the 10-second line. Leone with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. His team up by 1 point.
Come on, Barlow, you got to help him.
Barlow setting up a block. Leone with a lot of pressure.
Help him.
Neil Lenz gets the ball up to Neil Lenz. Neil Lenz being double teamed. You got a jump ball situation. I don't know whether it's reaching or what. There's exactly 1 minute remaining. 56-55. Daniel McIntyre out in front of the George Harvey Hawks, and we've got a jump ball with 6'5" Neil Lenz, 6'3" Marvin Russell, and guess who's coming back into the game on a substitution? Number 35, Joe Ogums. And that's got to lift up the Daniel Mac team no matter what. No matter what he can do. And the crowd is showing their appreciations for this super high school athlete, Joe Ogums of the Daniel Mac Maroons. There's a jump ball. Russell comes down with it. Here comes Baker. Let's see what Ogums can do now. 50 seconds remaining. 1 point lead for the Maroons. Ogums is playing on Heath. There's Baker, number 32. Feeds it across to Adams. Adams out. Here comes DeVario. DeVario to Baker. Baker penetrates towards the middle. Takes a shot. Comes up a little short. DeVario. His shot goes long. Barlow with position. Tips off his hand. We got a foul. Number 25, Delroy Adams. Going over top. And we got a bonus situation.
A good foul. They've got to call that. He went right over his back. Scotty's just got to settle down now. Make a couple of free throws.
See if we can see that play
again. Very tough shot by Baker. Didn't go in. Rebound by Barlow. Yes, definitely a foul. No question about it. Barlow trying to loosen up that leg.
There's a shot of Scott Barlow. Hair wet, perspiring down his body. His t-shirt nice and wet. And these may be two of the biggest baskets he's going to make in high school basketball. He really wants this one bad. And he gets it, and he knows he got it, and he's a happy young man.
Well, what's very important now is that Raposo and Leone Ong get some defensive rebounds. I really think it's important that those two guys do not just think that those three guys at the back are going to rebound, because George Harvey's taken so many outside shots, and long outside shots, and they're going off the back rim. There's a lot of long rebounds, and those guards are responsible to do some rebounding, and I think it could be a very crucial factor. I hope that Coach May's reminded them about it right now.
George Harvey called that timeout. I think they might have did that to isolate Mr. Barlow on the line. That next basket, if he can make it, it's going to be a big one. Put his team up by 3, 36 seconds remaining. That means that The George Harvey team's either going to need a 3-point play or 2 possessions to get the lead. So this next free throw by Scott Barlow is going to be a big one for the Daniel Mac Maroons.
I think he's going to make it. I think this timeout, of course, both teams need it. But Daniel Mac can really use this because they've got to review exactly what they want to do defensively. What happens if we get the ball and they haven't scored? What are we going to do? Who do we want the ball in the hands of? Because you know they're going to have to foul us.
Take a look at that foul shot, the last one that he just made. Scott
Well, I can tell you right now, he's going to make it. I've seen this shot before.
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
See, he made it.
Okay,
but what's important now is this. What happens if George Harvey comes down and misses? What do you want to do, Daniel Mac? You got to make sure that you've got the ball in the hands of some good free throw shooters because they're going to have to foul you right away.
Okay, here's Barlow at the line. A lot of noise in here. It comes up.
All right, no problem.
We've got 30 seconds.
No problem.
Now. It's a 2-point lead. The Maroons out in front, 57-55. Will this team play for one shot? There it is. Pollard on the outside. No, they're not going to. There's a quick shot. Almost a tie, but there's Ellen. Skies for that rebound. Tries to
what a bad shot.
Joe Ogums calls timeout. We've got 14 seconds remaining and a 2-point lead. And I don't know, that wasn't the best shot. You said it was the best shot.
I'll tell you, in the first place, I'm very surprised that Pollard took the shot. He has not played that much tonight. And especially when you got a guy like Mike Baker and DeVero, who are such excellent shooters, and you get some good rebounders, I think it's very important that you have the right guy taking the shot. And look at this. Guy gets the rebound and really throws up a hope and a prayer. Good rebound by Ogums. Calls timeout.
5'9" Delroy Adams tried to go over top of 6'5" Neil Lenz. He just couldn't do it. Even with all the vertical height he has on that jump, he couldn't do it. Joe Ogums comes down with the rebound. 14 seconds remaining. 57-55. They're going to have to foul, I think.
All right, let's just take a look. Right now, George Harvey, I think, has got to see whether they can steal the inbound pass. If they don't steal the inbound pass, I say they got to foul right away. If you don't get the pass, you got to foul. Daniel Mac, for that very reason, I've got to make sure they get the ball into the hands of some good shooter. Who's going to take the ball out of bounds?
Okay, looks like Joe Ogums is going to inbound the ball.
Take it in.
Okay, a lot of pressure.
I hope it goes to Leone because he's not going to miss the free throw.
Okay, Leone has control. Now they try to foul. They reach in, and number 44 has picked up his 5th foul, and that's it for Claude Heath. 6'3" grade 12 student from George Harvey.
No, that's what they've got to do. That's a good play by George Harvey. No question about it. They got to try to foul him. And very smart by Daniel Mac, because I really don't know the team statistics, but I would think the best foul shooter that they've got on their team is at the line right now, Leone Young.
Joe Ogums did a good job to get that ball to Leone Young. Leone Young did a good job to move around to get in the open. Picked up the inbound pass. We had a quick foul.
I'm not sure right now. It looks like Daniel Mac's going to put nobody on the rebounding positions. I would disagree with that. I'd like to put somebody there. If for no other reason than to make sure that you slow them down in case there's a defensive rebound. You don't want them to come back quickly because they're only 2 down and there's a lot of time.
Okay, this is the bonus shot. This is his first one. Daniel Mac is really giving the George Harvey team a shot.
Yeah!
He made it, and he almost dealing with it. And here comes the Daniel team off of the bench. They jumped up. The players are down court.
Come on, Winnipeg, start cheering.
We've got 13 seconds.
Timeout is called by
George Harvey takes their 5th timeout. That's it for them. Now the coach is going to have to talk to them about what he wants them to do. Once again, the George Harvey team is going to isolate Leone Young at the line. But this time he's got a chance to move his team within up to 4-point lead instead of just 3.
Well, you know as well as I do that this game is not over. And I want to tell you right now, Daniel Mac is going to win this game. I know they are because they deserve it. They played very, very well. They played too intelligently to break down right now. They're going to play smart. They're going to put some pressure on the ball, but they're not going to foul. And they're going to try to do everything they can to make sure that George Harvey cannot score within the next 8 seconds. Because they've just used their 5th timeout. That's why the coach is so angry. Now he cannot stop the clock. If they now score, they can't stop the clock. Daniel Mac can hold the ball out of bounds and say, that's it, we're up to play.
That may happen. Leone Young back to the line. This time he can put his team up by 4. That would make 2 possessions that the George Harvey team would have to get at least a tie in this game. This is a big basket here for Leone Young. 58-55, 13 seconds. There's the shot, and it's good. We got a 4-point lead, and here comes George Harvey up the court. They're going to try to score quickly, and then foul. There it is, the Barrio. Shot won't go. They start fighting for the ball. Walker now 4 seconds, takes the shot. We got a foul. No, we got an out of bounds, and I think that's it.
Well, Blair. I don't know whether we're going to get more exciting basketball than this, but I'll tell you, I think they're going to give the MVP to Joe Ogums, and well they might, because he's been he just played super tonight. He's played well throughout the whole tournament. But you know, Leone has got to be considered. He's really played himself a fantastic game. And Joe physically can compete with any of these people. But Leone has withstood something that I don't know whether anybody in Winnipeg has seen all day. There he is. He's got his hand up with the number 1 finger. And I think what he's saying is, fellas, we just played ourselves a super game. If we play like this, we're going to be tough to beat.
That's the whole Daniel Mack team.
Oh, he's been in control of this game. The little guy has been fantastic.
Daniel Mack has just played an outstanding basketball game. And I think that next week, right now they're ranked number 6, but I think they may be in the top 2 or 3 by the end of the week's rating. There's Leone. 3, 2, 1, and that's it. The final score, 59-55. The Daniel Mack Maroons defeat the George Harvey Hawks of Toronto to win the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. And let's hear your comments on this game.
Well, it's so hard to know what to say because emotion played a big part of this game. But more important than emotion was, I think, Daniel Mack played this game with their heads. They were extremely intelligent in the parts of the game where they were great, which was the first quarter and especially the fourth quarter. They played with intelligence. They were so smart in getting the right kind of shots. When they needed to, they got the ball to Ogums. When they needed to, they got real tough rebounds, and they made George Harvey take some really, really tough shots. A great game.
Well, Coach End, you were one of the few people that said the Daniel Mack Maroons would win this game, and you were absolutely right, and they deserve to win. There's no way that this game was given to them. They played just a phenomenal basketball game. They played both ends of the court equally as well, and they deserve to win. There's no doubt about it. This was a great basketball game by the Daniel Mack Maroons, and we're going to have the award presentations in just a moment. But
well, I love that George Harvey team. I think they were just extremely exciting, tremendously talented, and they really played some good basketball. But for goodness sake, you know we got to cheer for the home team, and Daniel Mack outplayed them. No question about it. They deserve to win.
Daniel Mack is on top of their game tonight. If they play like that through the rest of the season, let's see those 2 last baskets by Leone Young, who sort of put the icing on the cake, as they say. Concentration on his face.
Well, everybody did a good job, and Leone did a super job too. But, you know, we haven't said very much about him. But I thought Coach May really did a masterful job of using a couple of guys off his bench, but more important, calling very, very critical timeouts. Not allowing himself or his players to get worn down by the referees. Because there's no question about it, this game was not called as tightly as many of the other games. Most of the games in Winnipeg tend to be called. And I think they were very, very good in keeping their control against a fantastic George Harvey team. I've got to leave. I've got to help with the presentation.
Okay, we'll talk to you a little bit later as we're going to have the presentations here. So we'll be back in a moment with the presentations of the 8th annual Winnipeg Invitational Tournament.
Next, we would like to call out Victor Carroll from Calgary.
We're back here with the award presentations at the 1983 Winnipeg Invitational Tournament. We're seeing some of the awards. It's presenting to the George Harvey Hawks team here. Earlier, the Sturgeon Creek girls won the cheerleading contest. Here's our color commentator, Bruce Enns, going to be presenting the award here.
The whole, first of all, the captain, and then the whole team from the Daniel Mack Maroons.
Presenting the trophy to the champion Daniel Mack Maroons. And we see Leone Young and Joe Ogums, the 2 stars for the Maroons. 2 guys who really were the dominant force for this Maroons team as they're holding up the championship trophies for the 1983 Quick Tournament Winnipeg Invitational. And they all walk down to shake hands with the George Harvey Hawk team. George Harvey, who played outstanding game, came back to take the lead late in the 3rd quarter. But Daniel Mack just rallied behind 2 of their outstanding players And of course, the whole team played an outstanding game, and they are the champions of this tournament. You see them walking around, some of the players shaking hands here. Happy group of guys on this Daniel Mac team. Coach Jans will be presenting the team with their medallions. Coach Jans of the University of Winnipeg, and here come some of the players on the team. Frank DeMarchi, Frank Catronio, you see on our screen now. Neil Lands, some of the substitutes here for the Daniel Mac Maroon team. All receiving their championship medallions. Scott Barlow played a super game. John Raposo. The other players here, Ashley Gay, Bill Friesen now, some substitutes on the team. There's number 35, Joe Ogums. Leon Young and Vargas, who came in early in the first quarter. Did a fantastic job for the Daniel Mac team. You now see Ken Opalko on the screen. Ken Opalko, we talked to a little bit earlier in the third place game. Ken Opalko is the guest of honor here at this team. He's presenting some of the All-Star awards. There's Jason Wilson, who played an outstanding game in that third place final. Jason Wilson from Halifax. Blaine Acton, who was also in that third place final from the Elmwood Eskimos. There's Mr. Acton there to receive his All-Star award. Delroy Adams, who came off the bench to do some scoring punch for that George Harvey team. Scored a lot of baskets early in that first quarter and late in the fourth quarter to keep his team close. Richard Walker, Big Sky Walker, the guy was up there on the boards, a lot of rebounding, some good scoring. Another outstanding All-Star here. Joe Ogums, number 35, came up a little lame late in the game, worked out that cramp and came back. Super basketball game. Most valuable player, and I think that's going to be number 5, Leonio. And what a game he played in the final. Little 5'6" number 5, Leonio, was just the catalyst for this Daniel Mac Maroon team. He did everything to get his team fired up. He was there and scored the final 2 baskets. Ken Opalko, former Daniel Mac Maroon player himself, presenting those awards. Leonio, the tournament MVP, Blaine Acton, player Jason Wilson, we have Joe Ogums. Super basketball players here in this Daniel Mac tournament, and it's all over now. The Daniel Mac Maroons, the champions of the 1983 Winnipeg Invitational Tournament, the 8th annual. So that's it from now from the Tech Voc Gymnasium, and we'll be back here next weekend when the Elmwood Eskimos will take on the Tech Voc Hornets in freshman and varsity action. This is Blair Dugray for Bruce Ann saying so long for now, and see you next week with high school basketball on BPW Channel 13 Sports.